Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Snack. We do have a live tournament action coming at you. It is the Novice Arena Tournament. PtWinns and DrHorrible are going to be battling it out. It is going to be a PvP. Strangely, when 80% of the people who check in for a tournament are Protoss, that we do end up with a PvP. That is just crazy. Imagine the odds of that, right? Imagine the odds. Indeed, indeed. Now, PtWinns getting a lot of training recently from some of my friends, Sc2. He got some training from... or some good advice from myself. Well, hopefully it was good advice from me. But from Icefire as well, a member of Team Alt. And so he's really been beefing up his game. And it looks like DrHorrible is going to be our red Protoss player over here on the left side of the map. On the right side, it is going to be PtWinns. He is pink. He's going to be working on a wall off here, strangely. I think he's just practicing that more than anything. He doesn't really need to wall off, but a lot of the times we'll see him wall off. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. As long as they are okay with the map. Here's how I work it, just so you guys know out on the live stream. If the players, before the game starts, if they don't say anything about the map, then I don't care what map they play on, as long as it's reasonably within tournament realm. And if I have to veto it, I will. But if these guys don't care what map they're playing on, it doesn't really matter to me. So we're just gonna let them play on whatever map they want. I guess it's supposed to be Sc2. I did look in the bracket. I think these guys are on Sc2's side of the bracket. Let's just take a look. Yeah, they are. So they were supposed to be playing on Sc2, but they did get dual site. But you know what? See, I mean, it doesn't really matter. What can I say? At this point, as long as nobody's upset with it at the beginning of the game. If it's after the fact, I can just say, well, you know what? You should have caught that before the game started. You can't just say, well, that's not the correct map. Let's because you lost. You know what I mean? I know it's probably not the best way to do it, but this should work just fine. We do have a good solid wall off going down here for PtWinns. There will be no Zerglings making it into this base. He's going to be working on his Zealot. Looks like DrHorrible going to be doing some good scouting here, cruising around for just a little while. And DrHorrible now with 2 probes in his opponent's base here momentarily. He's going to be chasing PtWinns back up here to the high ground. Now I do expect a lot out of PtWinns here. He's got some serious training. And should be able to make this happen. Should be able to make it happen, but DrHorrible looks like he's going for a pretty solid build order here. Does have just the 1 gas. It appears that it could be indeed a 4-gate. Cybercore going to be completing here. It is already complete here for PtWinns, and he is currently chrono boosting out his warp gate tech. So it looks like DrHorrible may be slightly behind here, but not by too much. We'll see where he's going to proceed, though. That is the question. So far, so good for both players. No second gas, so it does appear to be either 3-gate or 4-gate type of play at this point. No super fast tech. And PtWinns looks like he's going to start tossing down some more gateways here. Keeps chrono boosting out that warp gate technology. Always a good thing. Martha Stewart's good things. Isn't it Martha Stewart that has the good things, or is that Oprah? I can't remember. Who cares? It's some lady that does not play Starcraft. And another gateway going down here for PtWinns. It's just the 3 so far. We'll see if he's going to grab a 4th. And back here at DrHorrible's base, it is a forge going down of all things. Now that's kind of interesting. So let's see. What build would this be? There is a PvP build that has a forge in it early like this. I'm trying to think what it is. It's not used very often, I'll be honest, but I think it's a Robo build, but his Robo is late. So if he's doing that build, he does not have his Robo out in time. You got to be careful with the timings there. He did grab this forge. I'm not entirely sure why. He does have 3 gateways out, but we'll check on that here in just a little bit. Looks like PtWinns going for 4 gates, or 3 gates rather, and a Robo. His Robo going to be out momentarily. And back here at DrHorrible's base, we're putting down more buildings. There's his Robo. It is, I think, a little bit late here. 6 minutes in. Does strike me as behind. And he is going to be grabbing weapons level 1 here and chrono boosting it out, interestingly enough. Not a bad little deal, actually. Does have a good, a good bunch of units out on the field, but it looks like PtWinns going to go for his expand here. He's getting it down in fairly decent time. I think he's got okay defenses. Notice that DrHorrible is slightly ahead in his unit composition here. Well, that's not really. Not really, because there's now a lot of stalkers out on the field. PtWinns stand on top of his warpins. Good job, buddy. We were trying to pound that into his mind last night. Oh, man, it was kind of terrible. Like, warpin, warpin, warpin. It's easy, you know, once you get into that flow and rhythm with Protoss, you can always be hitting your warpins. But the more often you're warping in, you can see that he's missing his warpin right now. But, I mean, the quicker you can stay on top of your warpins as Protoss, the better off you will be in the long run. Absolutely every single time. Neither of these guys are Aegis, Tiny Spider. Aegis is playing in another game. And PtWinns going to be securing this natural here in pretty good time. It looks like we do have an Immortal out on the field here for DrHorrible. Nothing quite yet from PtWinns. We'll see what he's going to do. He's really not utilized this robotics other than for his observer. His observer is cruising around here. Does see DrHorrible camping here with a probe. Looks like he is going to be going for an expansion of his own. He's tossed down a couple pylons here. The back door here is completely undefended. We do have an extremely large waterfall, and that is always nice. That is always nice. +1 going down here for PtWinns. He's going to be chrono boosting that out. Notice he did wall this off. I think a smart play here. You see a lot more Protoss doing this these days, even especially at higher levels. They always are just connecting their ramps to their nexus, even against Protoss and the like. But especially against Zerg, it's always super good to do that. Now we do have a push here from DrHorrible. He does have double Immortals in this army. This could be extremely good for him. PtWinns poking forward there for just a moment. He's got to get some more warpins, though. He is going to start falling behind here. Pulling probes here to try and make this happen. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it. He focuses down one of the Immortals there fairly quickly, trying to focus down the next. His probes are all dying, though, very, very quickly. Trying to focus down that Immortal is costing him a lot. Too many Zealots now out on the field here for DrHorrible to be dealt with. PtWinns going to be cruising forward with an Immortal. Is he going to be able to hold here? Oh, all these warpins just dying almost immediately. He's getting a couple extra warpins. Trying to kite this guy is not going to happen. Looks like DrHorrible will be taking this down, I think, at this point. PtWinns is going to have to pull off something amazing. DrHorrible trying to focus down the Nexus there, it looks like. Focusing down the pylon here is going... Well, I mean, PtWinns not supply blocked at this point, but that is also a bad thing. It would be nice if he was supply blocked. That would mean he would have quite a bit more units out on the field. And it looks like DrHorrible should be in great shape. In absolutely great shape. PtWinns does float a lot of minerals here. He's really got to get his defenses out ASAP to make this defense happen. DrHorrible, in the meantime, is securing his natural in pretty dang good time. Here comes your attack. DrHorrible going to go for it yet again. PtWinns got to be warping in more units. He's going to be chrono boosting out some Immortals here. That's going to be super helpful. His Nexus goes down, though. That's a good snipe there from DrHorrible. But DrHorrible, I think, really could have pulled the trigger on this game and taken down a win there a lot quicker than this. Looks like PtWinns going to try and hold on to that Immortal for just a little bit longer, but it does not happen. So many Zealots here for DrHorrible is really what's winning them the game here. Look at that. These Stalkers just not able to get anything done at this point. A couple more warpins here for PT. Is he going to be able to make this defense happen? It doesn't look like he's trying to do some kiting here. There's his Immortal. Immortal's not super effective against Zealots, but you got to do what you can do at this point. Cyber Core about to go down here. Good snipe there from DrHorrible. That will stop production of Stalkers, which actually may be a good thing here for PT. You know, quite frankly, he needs more Zealots. He needs more Zealots to be able to hold this off. PT in a lot of trouble. He's going to be pulling a couple extra probes here, trying to make his defense happen. Kind of an interesting position, and there goes the rest of his probes. Trying to focus these guys down. He may hold on here, but at what cost? That is the question. All of his probes are going to be dead. And that is absolutely no fun. Indeed, indeed, it is time to get back to mining. if possible. But you know what? This is definitely a GG type scenario. If you check that units tab, 8 probes right now to 29. PtWinns in desperate shape right now. And 3 Stalkers cruising in here should be more than enough to pull down a win here, I would believe. Probes trying to take down some Stalkers. Not going to happen. There is the GG. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Too bad. We're going to be definitely missing PtWinns as we move forward in the tournament, but congratulations to DrHorrible. He did extremely well in that game instead of horrible. So, nicely done, sir. We'll be seeing him hopefully later on. And don't alt tab, ladies and gentlemen. Always alt Starcraft. We'll catch you guys in our next game.